Hello everyone, this is Dalster and welcome to another episode review for Dark Side of the Ring, and in this video it focuses on XPW and Rob Black. XPW is known for their deathmatch style as far as I know. I will rewatch this episode again, summarize it, and share my thoughts at the end. XPW stood for Extreme Pro Wrestling. Just to give out a disclaimer, some of the words in this video will be worded differently in order to follow YouTube rules. There are some parts in this episode where some of the women act a little promiscuous from archived clips. XPW was founded by a man named Rob Black, who did not know anything about wrestling. Rob wanted to bring ECW to the West Coast but was not able to and tried to form a working relationship with ECW founder Paul Heyman. Things didn't work out as Rob got very angry and wanted to make XPW better than ECW. Around this time, he started dating an adult entertainment actress named Lizzie. When XPW was formed, there was chaos all over the venue. One XPW employee named Jessica Darlin said that Rob was the ultimate heel and used to work in the adult film industry before he founded XPW. He mixed adult entertainment and wrestling together but made it into a chaotic X-rated place where the men would urinate in places that they should not be peeing in and women having sex in the office. Jessica said that she worked in the office as well as a lot of the women who were mostly adult film actresses, but sometimes they would be around the ring. The employees would work from 6 to 9 hours in the office, while the wrestlers were wrestling in the ring. An XPW wrestler named Joey Munoz, who was known as Joey Chaos in XPW, was not a wrestling fan before joining the promotion. He had an uncle who was a wrestler though, and his name was Supreme, who actually recommended Joey to join XPW. In a match that they had one day, Supreme went through a table and got severely burned because the table had a lot of fluid. Chaos said in the episode that it was a good match even though he felt bad for getting his uncle severely burned. Another XPW employee named David Marquez, who was the director and producer for the company, said in the episode that he did the editing for the adult stuff which had nudity in it. One of the XPW wrestlers named William Welch, who was known as the Messiah, not to confuse you with Seth Rollins' Monday Night Messiah by the way, received a chair shot to the head without putting his hands up in the air while he was in a match. He received the nickname The Messiah because of that chair shot. ECW eventually went to do a live event in Los Angeles, California. This angered Rob as his wrestling promotion XPW was always in LA. So Rob ordered his XPW employees to distribute XPW flyers at the ECW event. Rob also had his top XPW wrestlers sit in the front seats of the ECW show. While sitting with the crowd, Chaos throws the X symbol to the audience and gets thrown out by security along with the rest of the XPW wrestlers. New Jack, who worked in ECW first, said in the episode that he and the ECW wrestlers went outside of the arena the night that the XPW wrestlers were there and beat the XPW wrestlers, even though New Jack was in crutches during that time. Mike, the XPW live event producer, was supposed to be there but never showed up. ECW would go out of business in 2001, causing Rob to take control of the former ECW wrestlers such as Terry Funk, Sabu, and New Jack. New Jack was very happy to have received a box full of P-word movies once he joined the promotion. Luke Hawx, who was known as Altar Boy Luke, went backstage after a match one day and got Rob very angry as Rob was not happy that Luke put his hands up when he got a chair shot to the head. Rob did not want his wrestlers to put their hands up as he wanted XPW to be known as being very extreme. Jerry Lynn told Luke that he did the right thing because Luke was protecting himself. He ended up punishing Luke by having him chained in a crucified position while Supreme hit Luke with chair shots. Luke shows us in this episode of the incisions or scars that he received from those chair shots back then. William was trying to leave XPW as he had enough of the physical pain while he was wrestling, but Rob managed to persuade William not to quit as Rob told him that he would quit if William was going to quit. Days later, Lizzie started talking to William a lot more as she and Rob were having issues with their relationship at the time. Sadly for William, he got himself inserted to their problems. In an archived clip, Lizzie had told Rob that she wanted to do an adult movie with William I'm not sure if that was ever done though. William and Lizzie eventually hooked up. Sabu said in the episode that Rob was okay with Lizzie doing a movie with someone, but if it's behind Rob's back, Rob would hurt that person who got involved with Lizzie. When Rob eventually found out that William had hooked up with his girlfriend, he wanted to kill William. Rob found out about the affair when William did not show up for a house show, and the employees were talking amongst each other about him and Lizzie being together. Jessica said that she also slept with William and that the XPW employees would get around with one another. In the end, Rob and Lizzie's relationship somehow survived, while William was getting exiled from XPW. Rob had William's character written out by having him in a warehouse. In the warehouse, William had an apparition and started to glow as he was being sent to heaven, as Rob gets disappointed that William had disappeared. The promo looked really cringe and was edited really bad though. Around the time that William was leaving, Rob threatened him as he told William that he had 3 days to leave the country, but William refused to let Rob scare him. Once William left, he worked at a wrestling promotion called Epic and cut a promo as the audience said F Rob Black as he was coming to the ring. William then calls Rob a bunch of cuss words as he also mentioned that he enjoyed doing it with Lizzie as William was 23 years old at the time. Days later, William goes to an XPW wrestling event and said in the episode that the event was not good. A beach ball was then thrown around the venue as William also participated in hitting the ball, which managed to identify him, causing Rob to somehow find out and get very angry. A guy named Dynamite D called William shortly and told him to leave immediately because Rob was angry at him and was yelling at his staff. Once William went home, 2 guys came to his house as he saw them through his TV screen. One of the guys got William in a chokehold while the other guy got William's hands. Somehow one of the guys had clippers and used them to cut off one of William's thumbs. William was able to save his other hand as he had it in a fist, but one of the men hits him with a fish tank and punches William. When the 2 men were trying to get away, William was able to get one of them in an arm bar, but they were able to run off. He tries to locate his thumb, but William ends up passing out. Aside from William getting hurt, so were the other wrestlers because of Rob's crazy ideas, as he wanted XPW to stand out. Rob thought of an idea of having New Jack and Vic Grimes wrestle in a scaffold match. Mike, an XPW live event producer, drew some stuff on what the match would look like, and somehow got through the insurance as they did not want to pay for the scaffold match. Basically, Mike managed to trick the insurance company as XPW did not want to pay them. When the match had started, the scaffolds were wobbling as New Jack and Grimes were at the very top. Grimes almost died, but hit the ring ropes as they saved his life. New Jack soon left XPW as he wanted to get payback from Grimes due to Grimes injuring New Jack's head from another match previously. Back to the William Rob situation. Chaos gets a knock on the door at a dressing room as he was preparing for an XPW match. Rob then comes to his room and looks worried as the police were searching for the 2 men who went after William. William's case somehow got into the TV show America's Most Wanted, and the XPW employees knew that Rob had something to do with it. New Jack ended up calling Rob about what happened to William, and Rob told New Jack on the phone that he did not know anything. Rob then told his employees one day, backstage, to watch out on who they hang out with, as they might get their arm chopped off. In a part of the episode with captions, Rob declined to answer for Dark Side of the Ring. William soon went back to wrestle without one of his thumbs as Rob was never charged with the crimes as there supposedly was no evidence. Years later, Rob got into trouble with the authorities as Rob did some lewd acts while filming it, such as women getting R-worded. Soon after, Rob appeared in a Nightline episode and tried to justify his acts and challenged John Ashcorf, who was a part of the government, which is not a good idea to mess with the government. William said that Rob always wanted to be like Hugh Hefner, which you guys probably know of Hugh's dark history, and that he was the founder of Playboy, an adult entertainment magazine. One day, XPW got raided by the feds as they were dressed in mailman uniforms. In an old clip, Rob said that he had movies that would send him to jail. He ended up facing multiple charges as he and Lizzie were set to face 50 years in prison and millions of dollars in fines. Because of Rob's troubles, XPW was beginning to crumble. Rob ended up going to jail for a year and a day, After jail, Rob left the wrestling business and ended his relationship with Lizzie. Most of the XPW employees that were interviewed for this episode said that they would go back to XPW wrestling because they had a great experience there. Joey Chaos ended up marrying one of the XPW ladies named Sylvia. They married at a pro wrestling show, and when this episode was filmed in 2021, they had already celebrated their 9th anniversary. Sadly, Joey's uncle, Supreme, passed away on May 6, 2020, and cried a little as he was talking about the love and support that he and his family had received after his uncle died. Williams said in the episode that his time in XPW was worth something, as this led him to his wife and having daughters later on. Sylvia heard that Rob and Lizzie had kids and that Rob runs a hamburger shop. When the credits rolled, Rob told Lizzie that he was going to show everyone who turned their backs on him something, but I didn't get what he was trying to imply though. Sorry about that. At the end of the episode, Darkside the Ring puts a dedication to New Jack as he passed away in 2021. Interviewers for this episode are New Jack, Jessica Darlin, wrestling valet and adult film actress, David Marquez, former XPW producer, director, Joey Munoz, Joey Chaos, wrestler, Sylvia Munoz, former XPW employee, Mike Hartsfield, former XPW live event producer, William Welch, wrestler known as the Messiah, Luke Hawks, wrestler known in XPW as Altar Boy Luke, and Sabu. Some facts about XPW is that XPW was founded in 1999, but was re-established in 2021. They held an annual deathmatch tournament called Baptized in Blood, which is also known as the King of the Deathmatch tournament. Shane Douglas was the booker in 2002 and had XPW in Pennsylvania. They held 2 XPW reunion shows such as Cold Day in Hell in May 2008 and XPWX in August 2009. They had a 3rd reunion show with another promotion called Perros del Mal Producciones, where the 2 promotions clashed in 2011. After the XPW episode aired on Vice, Rob relaunched the promotion New York. Maybe that's what he was talking about in those credits. Former ECW commentator Joey Styles was a commentator for XPW in 2002, but only for 1 month. XPW has its own streaming service called XPW TV. There were titles in XPW such as the World Heavyweight Champion title, King of the Deathmatch Champion title, the XPW Fight TV Champion title, and the Women's title. But they did retire their tag team titles, television title, and European title. Its successor was Wrestling Society X and MEXPW. Rob Black's real name is Robert D. Zicari and was born in Rochester, New York. He had an adult entertainment company called Extreme Associates. Rob also appeared in a documentary called Sex, the Annabelle Chong story that came out in 1999. Even before XPW, his movies at Extreme Associates were very raw and torturous. In 2001, he tried running for mayor in Los Angeles, but lost. Rob also has a gift store that sells adult toys and marijuana products. He has his own podcast called The Rob Black Show on Blog Talk Radio. In 2013, he divorced Lizzie and married another woman that same year. I give this episode a 7 out of 10, as it was very short, but it was nice to know of another wrestling promotion. Throughout this episode, I felt like Rob had a huge ego, as some of the people interviewed for this episode said a lot of negative things about him. It was a strange promotion combining wrestling and adult entertainment. I wanted to know more about the XPW women and what they had to go through, as I think there were more crazy things going on in that office. That promo they did for William was so cheesy and badly edited. I would not be surprised if it was on a list of the worst storylines or something like that. I'm glad that Darkside the Ring paid tribute to New Jack after he passed away and had his own episode a couple of episodes ago. I know New Jack isn't a nice guy to a lot of people, but he was entertaining, funny, and died so soon. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Comment, like, or subscribe if you want to, and take care of your mental health and everyone around you, and I'll do the same too. Bye guys.